So tonight the City Council is here to talk about a bike rental agreement at the Woofter Memorial Plaza, which seems to be pretty well supported by council members, and then they move on to the controversial part, amending Rule 11 of public forum during the City Council meetings. Let's see what this meeting has. Okay, to recap this, if you don't want to watch the whole hour and 11 minutes, it does get contentious at the end. They did push through their trash thing. They are privatizing the trash to the company they wanted all along, which was Waste Management. They didn't give it to Rumpke. I missed that. Last city council meeting I went to, I thought Rumpke was in the running, but they never wanted Rumpke all along. They wanted Waste Management, and they don't want the city to do it. And they're complaining because they don't have enough people on there. They've only got 4 people now, and that's because they themselves our city government has contractually gotten these people off of the sanitation part. So I'm hearing that they might be getting sued by some guy who used to be a professor who is now homeless on the north end. Don't really know too many details. Something about he's homeless, so he had buckets and they threw him away or something. I don't know, but regardless. And then the other thing, you guys have been following Michael Bowman. He's a North Carolina resident who has been coming to our city council meetings because of the corruption and stuff, and he just wants to, expose it, highlight it, and, well, of course, some members. I'm not going to say all of them. We do have some good members on city council, and I'm not going to say the names one way or another. You guys have done your homework. Who live here, you know who's good and you know who's bad. I could do it for you, but I'm not going to. Just remember that when it comes time to vote on May 12th of this year, here in a little more than 3 months, those people who are on city council seats right now, the ones who are not doing what the people want, it's going to be time for them to go bye-bye. And there are several. And there are like 3 good members on city council, and they keep getting overruled. You'll see it if you watch this video. But they are coming out with contractual verbiage, rules, I don't know what to call this, to where guys like Michael Bowman can't go up there and film people at the podium and use divisive language or cuss or just basically expose what they're doing and put a negative light on it. They don't want that put out there, even though they record it themselves and put it on their YouTube channel. I sit back there and I record it. What's the difference? So I think it's just them trying to exercise the power they think they have, some of them. But like I said, we do have a few good people on city council. We just need more of them. So I'll let you watch this video if you want to.
Assuming there are no successful challenges to the issue appearing on the ballot. If there is a ballot referendum that results in voters choosing to repeal the ordinance awarding the contract to Waste Management, tonight's amendment language to Article 955 no longer really makes sense. So I question, then what? I argue that the vote to amend and reenact Article 955 should be postponed until after the deadline for collecting signatures for the petition, which is this coming, Friday, the 27th. This would leave charter language in place for the time being, holding the city accountable for the provision of sanitation services. None of the changes you're trying to make are or must be inevitable with sanitation. We're only in this situation because of poor management, poor compensation for truly essential workers, and a lack of respect for the will of the people. So I ask you tonight to postpone the vote on the ordinance to amend Article 955 until such time as this issue plays out. And with asking that respectfully, I will yield the remainder of my time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I would like to address the issue of the public forum resolution number 2, and very much support that. And I'm really glad that the modifications are being considered to allow the voice of the people to be heard. I'd also like to commend the incredible hard work under the worst weather conditions imaginable of the many, many people that went around door to door, street to street to get these petitions signed. That's democracy in action. And whether you agree or disagree with it, you should all appreciate the engagement of our citizens in Parkersburg and all the hard work that has gone on in the last few weeks to make this possible.
Thank
One of the first things that is taught in survival school is that when you are in a hole over your head, stop digging. This is an analogy about what to do when you find that you are lost. Often called the sunk cost fallacy, it's a tool to overcome the bias people have when refusing to accept that they have lost their way. In economics and sociology, it is called the escalation of commitment, and it is a pattern of decision-making in which individuals or groups continue to invest in a course of action despite mounting evidence that the decision is wrong. My grandfather was an adherent of this principle. Despite being lost many times, he refused to ask for directions. Often the result was being late or missing an event entirely. There were many arguments, and I thought if I learned how to read a map, I could prevent our becoming lost. As expected, he refused to take directions from a child. This never changed, and I was not surprised when he missed my high school graduation. Parkersburg is at a nexus tonight with the final approval of Article 955. You have been shown over the last several months that this is a poor choice for our city's future. The facts show that billing is not sustainable for a comprehensive program of reducing waste. The mayor has confirmed that there will be rate increases. The finance director confirmed that the enterprise fund was always solvent. Pending litigation demonstrates non-compliance with mandates for curbside recycling. Thursday's meeting includes a long overdue discussion on starting wages and proper compensation for staff. This confirms that the staffing issue was created in-house. The circulating petition and a strong participation rate demonstrate that this is not the will of the people. This is your chance to listen to the people you represent and do the right thing. Recognize that this has failed and start over. Set aside pride, work for a sustainable future, and for our next generation. While I am encouraged to see that there is an attempt to restore public forum, I have a serious concern. The sentence, speakers shall not make slanderous remarks. Use profanity gives me pause. The term slanderous has been previously wielded here in this chamber as a weapon. Slander, by definition, is a lie that is spoken to defame a person's character. A true statement, quote, or describing action may be unflattering, but it is not slander. Just because a person's feelings were hurt does not mean that they were slandered. Profanity is defined as language that is blasphemous or sacrilegious. In a broader sense, profanity is also often poorly used to describe cursing or foul language. Regardless of your intended censorship, the only language that a government body may prohibit is true threats, incitement to imminent lawless action, fighting words, and child pornography. This attempted censorship is going to lead to litigation and yet another settlement that will be paid by the taxpayer. From Cohen v. California regarding government censorship in 1972, John Harlan penned, while the particular four-letter word being litigated here is perhaps more distasteful than others in its genre, it is nevertheless often true that one man's vulgarity is another's lyric. Contrary to the individual beliefs of some, there is but one text only that is sacred in this chamber. That is the Constitution of the United States and its Bill of Rights, protecting the people from the tyranny of government. Thank you.
Next, we have Casey Petrain, followed by Colt Morningstar.
Good evening. My name is Casey Petrin, and I am knocking over the podium. forum. We were told removing open public forum would make meetings more efficient and more manageable. Respectfully, it hasn't. Meetings aren't meaningfully shorter, and tension hasn't disappeared, and trust certainly hasn't grown. Here's the reality. Efficiency is not the same thing as exclusion. Public forum was never just a microphone, it was a pressure valve. It gave residents a structured, predictable way to be heard. And here's something I hope we can all sit with tonight. Silencing input doesn't create harmony, it creates distance. If anything, removing open public forum has pushed frustration outside of the chamber instead of allowing it to be addressed inside of it. We talk a lot about transparency. Transparency isn't just about live streams and posted agendas. Transparency is letting people speak even when it's uncomfortable. Strong leadership doesn't avoid criticism, it manages it. If the goal is a more positive relationship with the community, the answer isn't limiting access, it's better facilitation. Because at the end of the day, democracy is not efficient, it's participatory. And this room belongs to the public. Thank you.
Thank you.
Colt Morningstar, then Carrie Talrico.
Good evening, my name is Colt Morningstar. I'm here because I care about transparency, public trust, and making sure the people of Parkersburg actually feel heard in their own city. I want to start with proposed changes to public forum, because structure is okay, but honestly, when government starts changing rules around public comment, people don't hear efficiency, they hear you're being managed. Right now, trust in institutions is already low, and the last thing we need is even the perception that voices are being limited. The strongest governments are not ones that control the microphone, they're ones confident enough to hand it to the public and ask them what's going wrong and understand how they feel. On the recycling agreement, I support environmental responsibility, but taxpayers also deserve clarity, they deserve education, and they deserve the right to know questions that they're asking. What are long-term costs and how will you guys measure success? Because good intentions don't balance budgets, results do. Regarding redevelopment and urban renewal authority, redevelopment should improve lives, not just buildings. How we are making sure local residents and small businesses benefit instead of outside interests coming in, making money and leaving. And as new budget is introduced, I encourage the council to make it accessible and understandable, because transparency should not require a finance degree. I'm not here to criticize for the sake of it. I'm here because Parkersburg has real potential and I believe in the city and I've loved it since I was younger. But trust isn't something you ask for, it's something you earn. And the people in this community want to be partners in the future of this city and not just spectators. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Talrico. Then Mike Tennant.
Hello, I'll make it short tonight. You guys already know how I feel on the trash and recycling issues, but I know you definitely know how I feel about public forum. I've spoken up here multiple times, emailed, written a paper, all kinds of things. Since the beginning of starting to attend here, I have tried really hard to learn as much as I could, educate, and then cultivate education in others on the forum and the way things are handled here. When the voices were shut down, restricted, however you want to put them, it took away their voices, and I couldn't get them back. The comments I got was, why does it matter? They don't want to hear me. They're gonna do what they want to do. And it continued the divide. I'm very proud of it being back on the agenda. I think this is a great start, just start closing a divide. I would encourage each and every one of you to vote for it and start encouraging and cultivating conversations. Hard ones, pleasant ones, all the conversations. This is what we need. This is what the city needs. And this is how we're gonna get the younger generation involved, is by giving them a voice. So vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Tennant. Followed by Robert Duke.
My name is Mike Tennant. I'm a Parkersburg resident and a
read the United States Constitution. I'm here to speak on item 2 about the public forum on the agenda. A quick Google search can quickly and easily show you that a person can attend a council meeting and address issues concerning the community, as long as there is no personal attacks, profanity, or political campaigning. We have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech and a freedom of press. We also have the right to express our grievance with our government. And these kind of meetings is where if I or if anyone else chooses to do so, they should be able to stand up and speak and express the issues they have in a professional manner. They shouldn't be stopped by ordinance or rule here in Parkersburg, West Virginia, or in any other city in the United States of America. Our Constitution is the law of the land, and anyone's feelings, ordinances, rules does not trump our constitutional rights. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight.
Thank you.
Mr. Duke?
Hello. Not too close there. My name is Robert J. Duke, and I'm here about the bikes plan. So I want to first say thank you to everybody who's helped me get the proposal to this point, including Brian Barber, the Development Department especially. So this plan I'm proposing is an automated bike rental station, kind of in the vein of like in New York City, City Bike, or in any mountain town or beach town in America. So I think having this located along the river trail will be great for tourists. For example, at the Blennerhassett Hotel, a lot of the people there will stay the night, and they wish they had a bike with them, but they didn't bring one with them. Now they'll have one, or have the ability to rent one for any given period of time. So this is a very custom-built design. The bikes are unisex, so that means anybody can use them. They're step-through, single gear, good for maintenance. It's, like I say, fully automated, so the user flow is a breeze. They scan a QR code. They go through the forms and legal side, which gets some input from the city on that to make sure everything's locked tight. The bike unlocks. The user can enjoy the ride. They engage with the community via an interactive map and suggestions on the web-based map that I developed, and help with the downtown PKB. I went ahead and took a lot of businesses that they have as parts of them, and I added them to the map so people can take their time and explore downtown. Like mentioned, this program works in other cities, and I think it would work here great. It's not like the scooter models where people leave them all over the road or they're strung out on the road. So I do think people will enjoy it. That's all I want to say. I'm going to yield my time.
Thank you.
Next we have Sue Ellen Wainwright.
Can you hear me? Hopefully, all of you have received one sheet of paper. I appreciate the efforts that's put in to bring back public forum and city council. These have been missed opportunities to have constructive discussions within the community. Reading the proposed resolution, I have a proposed amendment that will seek fair and equitable standards for both council and public at large, paraphrasing language appearing in the proposed public forum section. And I have written and I have put it in bold for you. Please add the following sentence. While behind the dais, council members shall not make slanderous remarks to anyone in the audience, or use profanity or otherwise become disruptive. Council members or other city officials will not use their official platforms to promote or oppose anyone running for public office. I think this is fair, that if we have it on one side, we should have it on both sides. And I hope you will agree with me and pass it with me.
Thank you.
Next we have Ray Lloyd, followed by William Smith.
Good evening, everyone hear me? Thank you. My name's Ray Roy, I'm from District 9. I have just handed the clerk a formal notice of procedural objection regarding ordinance 955. I am here to put this body on notice that you are currently in violation of West Virginia Code 811-4, and proceeding with a vote tonight would ignore specific procedural mandates required for revenue-raising ordinances. State law requires 1.0 legal advertisement in a 5-day window where the ordinance is available for public inspection. The city's legal ad for this hearing was not published until February the 18th, which is Wednesday. So by law, day one was February 19th. However, at 8:28 a.m. on February the 19th, despite the business hours being posted at the door of 8 o'clock, the clerk's office door was locked and unoccupied. A locked door is not a public inspection. Furthermore, as late Sunday, February 22nd, the city's own website was not updated with the agenda or hearing information. On February 19th, the bulletin board in this building was still displaying an agenda outdated from February 10th. Sending a selective email to a few individuals, which came out at 3:55 p.m. on the 19th, does not satisfy public requirement of the law. You cannot count days where the public was physically and digitally barred from access. And a material amendment, additionally, the shift to Rumpke contract is a material amendment. It fundamentally changes the financial structure and legal liability of the waste program under state law. The material change requires this process to restart with a first reading. You cannot swap a municipal program for a private corporate contract at the last minute and call it a minor update. And to the council, the calendar doesn't lie. Between the ad published on the 18th and the building closed on the 21st and the 22nd, you have at best provided 3 days of access for public review. You are missing 40% of the legally required inspection window. This isn't a clerical error, it's a denial of the public's right to participate in the legislative process. I'm demanding that you postpone this second reading. If you vote tonight, you're doing so on a record that proves the public was denied its statutory 5-day right to inspect this law. Let's follow the code of West Virginia. Do not ignore it for your inconvenience. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do support the public forum.
The last one is William Smith.
What's that? I wonder how many members of city council, can you hear me? I wonder how many members of city council recycle their trash. Why would someone who doesn't already recycle want to pay $4.50 to start sorting his trash? It's been too easy for him to just throw it all away. The mayor brags how recycling lowers the amount going to the landfill, and yet wants to reward those that throw it all away. Councilwoman Poole says she tried recycling for a week and was amazed at how much she was throwing in the trash that should be recycled. Waste Management is getting ready to supply us with one big trash can, our limit. When I look down my street on trash pickup day, most households will overfill these cans every week. If they were to recycle the good stuff, they would have room for their trash with no overcharge. It's not that hard to recycle. According to the new numbers of 80-20%, there are approximately 2,400 recyclers in the city. At $4.50, it would generate about 11,000. If that same $4.50 was divided and charged for every trash customer, the charge would be less than $1. My proposal is to charge every customer $1 recycling fee. Still his choice to sort or not. This would generate a couple $1,000 left over, which could be used to enhance the recycle program in Parkersburg. I doubt that there would be as much opposition to my idea as there has been for yours. I have paid school taxes since I was 13 years old. I never complained. I am not married and have no children, so I get no benefit from this. When I turned 18 and could vote, I supported any school item that came on the ballot. Not because I had to, because it's the right thing to do. Well, so is recycling. Again, the best way is to charge everyone a small amount, and if they want to participate, they can. It's the right thing to do. The citizens that have attended these meetings, and all other citizens that recycle, have a certain passion for what they do. The ones that throw it all away can care less. I would say that those that don't recycle now will not start no matter what you decide. It would be nice if you took care of those that want to do good. If you have been listening to me, what I have said, I think you will see that I am right. So I urge you to charge everybody or charge nobody. I can't see how an extra dollar would hurt anyone and might help keep recycling in Parkersburg moving in the right direction. The mayor's suggestion of charging $4.50 to recycle is an insult to all those trying to do good. It would probably cripple the recycle program in Parkersburg. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing. For the bike trail, there's no seats down on the bike trail for senior citizens. It'd be nice to see something like that.
That's the last one, sir.
Thank you. We're going to move on to the next agenda item. We have a message from the executive. Mayor, do you have anything tonight?
Yeah, I got a couple. Excuse me. First, I think someone already passed out a hard copy of the budget to council. So, that being said, excuse me. I present to you this evening a structurally balanced fiscal year 27 budget crafted with identical policies and philosophy as the previous 9 budgets that I presented, using conservative forecasting and historical review to ensure recurring expenses do not exceed recurring revenues. This sound financial approach, including debt reduction, solid reserves, has allowed the city to mitigate the impact of volatility and navigate economic uncertainty. This budget proposes we continue to focus on core services, equipment, and projects essential to the community while aligning with fiscally prudent approach of growing the budget naturally with modest increases in payroll or personnel expenses, consistent investment in essential services, and conservative capital expenditures without incurring additional debt. This strategy of fiscal constraint and long-term planning has afforded the city of Parkersburg to be financially positioned in a manner that is enviable to many municipalities around West Virginia, including those with larger populations, higher median income, and a broader tax base. Our pension obligations continue to shrink annually, and we are again proposing an across-the-board cost of living adjustment for all non-elected personnel while maintaining substantial reserves. Since 2017, the city has improved its overall financial net position by nearly $74 million. This improvement is a result of the enforcement of policies that are both fiscally prudent, as I mentioned before, and I'm hopeful that council will be agreeable to continue austerity and maintaining a strong financial position for the foreseeable future. Before I get into some more specifics, I want to thank Eric for his efforts these past several weeks. He's once again compiled and crafted a structurally balanced budget within the time frame while simultaneously dealing with multiple distractions. And the audit's been going on during most of this process the last couple of months. So with regards to revenue, we're budgeting a fund balance estimated at $1,067,667. Total revenue estimated at $35 million. This is all general fund, up $738,000 over the prior year, primarily resulting from increases in estimated B&O at $300,000 and sales tax at $200,000. We are not budgeting for a stabilization transfer this year. Increased expenditures, health insurance, PEIA is a 3% increase. Again, the aforementioned 4.2% pay increase for non-elected personnel. And also included in those budgetary figures, there are additional increases to bring all current personnel to a minimum of $15 an hour. That is, ended up being 14 employees. Operating budgets are consistent with prior years. Notable transfers to the following funds: $963,685,000 to capital reserve, $200,000 to the demolition fund for future demolitions, $175,000 to parks, pools fund for operating subsidy. Overall, general fund expenditures have increased $806,117. With regards to capital reserve, there's a business district beautification project in there, $25,000. Flood wall, there's some work with regards to stabilization of part of the levee, particularly underneath the Memorial Toll Bridge. $205,000 for new stormwater system construction and a piece of equipment. Parks and Rec, $245,000 to pave the city park and Veterans Memorial sidewalk. With regards to equipment, an audio-visual upgrade to the council chambers, police cruisers, pretty much standing pat with four cruisers like we've done every year, including dash cams and all this other associated equipment. $80,000 for 4 self-contained breathing apparatus and replacement of the inspector vehicle. Parks and Rec, there's a couple different mowers on here. I think we'll talk more about those in the budget. We've been looking at a remote controlled slow mower for some of our steeper areas, so the guys don't have to weed eat that stuff like we do normally. There's continued reserve for $600,000 for the next fire truck, $250,000 for a street sweeper, $50,000 for another dump truck, and then $300,000 in contingency. We're asking from the opioid settlement fund a total of $190,000 for youth prevention and education initiatives across the county, and the previously budgeted and awarded or appropriated funds for the Wood County Drug Crime Prosecutor. That's the shared cost across the city and the county. The Street Infrastructures Fund, you'll see a budget of $1.3 million for street improvements, and make no mistake, I'll put you on notice now, our intention is to ask council to appropriate 100% of the fiscal year carryover from fiscal year 26 to the Street Infrastructure Fund. We believe if we want to maintain the great gains we've had with our conditions of our streets, we need to keep up the pace as best we can. Estimated budget revenue of $2.7 million, revenue for refuse collection fees. That's the $19.50 a month. That's up for consideration this evening. $47,880 revenue for recycling subscription fee, again up for this evening, and then surcharges to $212,400. That's the fee that's being charged to everyone. And that's all I have with regards to the budget. I will tell you, with regards to the bicycle thing, I met with Mr. Duke. It's probably been, where did he go?
He left.
Did he leave? Oh, there he is. What, 3 weeks ago probably?
I would say about 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
and he's got a good plan. He's got an entrepreneurial spirit. He understands, I think, some of the concerns and challenges with regards to what happens if they don't bring the bike back. Well, he's got it kind of figured out. He seems to be a pretty tech savvy young fella. That if you don't bring the bike back, you get stuck for a pretty substantial charge. So I think I agree that there should be some. It could be useful down there, particularly in that location. And I believe that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, now that we've received the budget, I'd entertain a motion to receive, file, and refer to committee of the whole with the date to be determined.
Mr. President,
Mr. Brooks,
move to receive and file.
Second.
we have a first and a second. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Bukowski?
Yes. Council will get together here in the next day or two and schedule our committee of the whole to get started on our budget process, budget hearings. We're down to resolutions. Madam Clerk, could you read resolution number 1, please?
A resolution authorizing Mayor Tom Joyce to execute a lease agreement between the City of Parkersburg and Duke Bikes to operate a bicycle ride-share kiosk at Wolfter Memorial Plaza.
Mr. President.
Ms. Cool.
Move for adoption of the resolution.
Second.
We have first and second. Any discussion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Rexroad?
Just like to say it's really nice to have a positive thing on the agenda for once, and just to brag on Mr. Duke. I had him in school several years ago, and it's really nice to see a former student putting together something like this, and it's a really good thing. It's something that I'll go back to school and tell my current 6th graders about, and hopefully they can do something positive like this in the future as well. So thank you, Mr. Duke.
Ms. Cool.
I also would like to echo what Mr. Rexroad said. I was really excited whenever I saw the bicycles coming to Parkersburg. I do have one question. Do we need to repaint our bicycle routes, Mayor?
I have not given that any consideration. I think Mr. Duke's plan is for his bikes to be used in the downtown area, perhaps now on the Port Trail. So,
Just on the trail?
well, I mean, you can take them anywhere. It's up to the police department. As long as you're riding in the right direction. But his business plan is to utilize them in the downtown footprint.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Mr. McCready?
I also want to echo this on Mr. Guy. He's doing a great job, Jackson. Congratulations and thank you for what you're doing. If any of you people haven't been down to see the River Trail or haven't walked it, it's 2.5-mile walk down up there almost to the mall. But it's a beautiful, beautiful walk. It's a great place to walk. It's flat top all the way. And I hope everybody can get down and enjoy that. It's an absolutely great place to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCready. Anyone else? Hearing nothing else, can we get the vote, please, Connie?
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Bukowski?
Yes, resolution passes. Madam Clerk, resolution number 2, please.
A resolution amending Rule 11 of City Council's Rules and Regulations relating to public forum and creating a council forum.
Mr. President.
Mr. Rexroad?
Move to adopt the resolution.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Ms. Tuck?
I'm really glad that, this is coming up for vote. And my question is, I realize that, at the conclusion of every speaker, the council president, person presiding, may respond or designate somebody within the city government to respond. I would like to, make sure that doesn't take away from the time allocated to the public. Sometimes our explanations can get lengthy. And I would just like to reserve that 30 minutes of time for public speakers, and any rebuttal or any additional input, should remain on council time, not public time. I guess I need to, think about that and I'll make a amendment.
Mr. President.
Ms. Cool?
I believe that it does say that. It will not take, how anyone responds to what the public is saying. It does not take away from the 30 minutes for public forum.
Mr. Myers?
And I can answer that. It doesn't specifically explain it. You can make an amendment, you can do what you like. Me personally, I would never vote for something that would allow council to filibuster the time, give it to the public. So however y'all want to do it, but I don't believe it specifically states it, but I don't believe it's only as good as the person sitting up here, but I wouldn't, be in favor or support anything that would take away from the amount of time the public has to speak.
I want to take away from the time of the public speaking. Maybe we had discussed that, Chris, and it did not get in here.
I would never construe that, I think 30 minutes for the public means 30 minutes for the public. I would never recommend you construe that to deduct from the public's time. I mean, you could make an amendment if you feel it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary.
Mr. President. Mr. Rexroad.
When I kind of started this process to draft this with Mr. Myers and input from several of you, it was never my intention that the response time eat into the public's time. I have no problem if we need to put that in writing, but I just want to make it clear it was never my intention to cut into the public's time when drafting this.
I think that excuse me, Mr. President, I think
Ms.
that
Cool.
was the whole idea of this, just so we could respond to them, and it was not going to take away from the public's time. I just think that's a given. I mean, I don't think amendments necessary. You're going to be keeping track of the time that the public does not speak or whoever answers, so we just add that onto the time, right?
Mr. President, I would like to put it in writing. I think we have I just like things to be as clear as possible. I'd like to suggest that, public forum shall allow 30 minutes for the public to speak. And just take out that shall be no more than, but just public forum shall allow 30 minutes for the public to speak. That would just clarify any ambiguity.
Second that. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Rexroad.
The intention of it, I don't think it would hurt anything to have that. I mean, it's semantics to have that changed to protect it. I mean, that's what we intended anyway, so let's just go ahead and make the amendment, and that way it's in there.
I mean, you can look at it two ways. You have 30 minutes in length, 3 minutes for each speaker. So if you don't have 10 people signed up, you're never going to reach that threshold. If you have 10 people, you can use it based on the number of people signed up. But we do have a motion for an amendment and a second. Any other discussion? Madam Clerk, vote please.
Mr. McCready?
No.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
No.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Bukowski?
No. Amendment passes. So now we're back to the original motion to accept the resolution. Is there any other discussion on that? Hearing none, I'd just like to say typically, as the chair, I don't give as much input. We all want to hear from the public. As we know, there's 3 types of public forum: no public forum, agenda items only, or limited public forum, and open public forum. I believe wholeheartedly open public forum is the best form of public forum, but also only with the intentions of those getting up there. It's been my experience that it's been used for more for self-promotion and other reasons rather than for the good of the citizens. And we're here for criticism, constructive criticism, non-constructive criticism. But when we experience things that happen and it gets out of hand, I don't see that it benefits the community when it gets to that point. So we're here today. You all have asked for it. We've listened to you. We have it back on the agenda. I'd ask that we all be civil. You can criticize me all you want. You can be constructive or not constructive, but let's do it for the good of the community, and look for positive rather than just get up there and promote and be divisive and maybe push narrative for individual benefit. That's all I got.
Mr. President,
Ms.
this goes away with the public forum for agenda items only, correct? That's what, okay.
Mr. President?
Go ahead, Ms. Tuck.
I would just like to read a short paragraph from, Mr. Myers that talks about the point of how to address city council. And he says, chairpersons of meetings have discouraged speakers from directly addressing individual members and have asked that comments be directed to the chair. Speakers have also at times been asked not to address the individual elected officials by name. The purpose has been to maintain the civility of discourse, and to the best of my recollection, that has only occurred only a handful of times. Even on those occasions, nearly all speakers have been permitted to conclude their remarks. As the letter from Aubrey Sparks, legal director of the ACLU, states, a legislative body may impose reasonable restrictions, as city council has done, establishing that topics are limited to matters on the agenda and limited to 4 minutes. Now that will be ending. City council will continue to maintain a viewpoint neutrality policy, and speakers will be permitted to engage in criticism of public officials, including personally directed comments, so long as speakers abide by the time limitations and topic and do not otherwise engage in disruptive conduct. I think we can accept that as our legal guidance for this as well. And I do believe that we can be a voice for public participation. Not all of it's positive. I think a lot of it is and can be and has been. So I'm very much looking forward to supporting this return to public forum and also council forum. Thank you all.
Anybody else? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, the vote, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
No.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes, resolution 2 passes. We're down to ordinance now. We have ordinance, agenda item 3. Will you read the ordinance for us, Madam Clerk?
An ordinance authorizing approval of the recycling program agreement between the City of Parkersburg and Rumpke of Ohio Incorporated, and directing the mayor to execute the agreement on behalf of the city.
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool.
move for adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any discussion?
Point of order. Point of order.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, just a few minutes ago, you remarked that there was going to be a public hearing separate from the public forum.
Thank you.
To allow people an opportunity to question and get answers about this.
We have a motion, a second. I should have, before discussion, said we're gonna have a public hearing. Public hearing is for,
Point of order.
Point of
The
order.
public hearing's on the rate ordinance, not
Right,
the
it's not on
so
that.
I'm sorry.
thank you. We're down to the Rumpke contract. The
Right.
public hearing is after number 4. Thank you all.
The public hearing is on number 4.
So we have discussion on item number 3. We have a motion, a second. Discussion on item number 3. Anybody have anything else to add on item number 3?
Just clarification, Mr. Bennett.
Go ahead.
So the public hearing, we don't have to have a public hearing on the ordinance, for the contract, but we do have to have one to change
Rates.
the ordinances. Okay, just wanted to clarify. The articles, right? They're both second hearings.
It's going to be for item number 4 on our agenda. We're on item number 3. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, questions, or comments on item number 3? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, vote, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
No.
Mr. Huffman?
No.
Mr. Rexroad?
No.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski.
Yes. Ordinance on final reading passes. We're down to item number 4 on the agenda. Madam Clerk, would you read that for us, please?
And ordinance amending and reenacting Article 955.
I believe we need a motion in a second, then we'll have a public hearing.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that correct? So we need to have a motion to adopt ordinance, or item number 4 on the final reading.
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool?
move for adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We are now down to the public hearing, the much anticipated public hearing, obviously. We're gonna open for public hearing. This is for people to voice either for or against. It's not a back and forth or opportunity for questions, and public hearing is now open. If you wish to speak for or against, please come to the podium.
If you decide for a motion to postpone, to allow yourselves time to hear from the people who are gathering petitions, you know it's there. You know it's pending. Save yourselves the headache. Don't be stubborn. Admit you've lost your way. And I promise you, we will support you. I promise you, we won't mock you. And I promise you, if the petition is successful, we will stand beside you and work to find a resolution that works for the long-term benefit of our community. We're not enemies here. Don't consider it capitulation. Consider it cooperation.
Thank you.
I just have one item. Since I got this formal notice, can I get the signed copy of it, please?
I don't have it. Are you looking at me?
Whoever needs to sign it. I wasn't looking at you. This is the original. I'll get another original since it has it there. I'll make this one so you can sign it.
Is that all right, Mr. Meyer?
No, it's just a receipt.
Mr. Bruno, were you gonna speak as well?
No, I'm not.
Okay. And anybody else would like to speak, come on, Mike.
Thank you.
I've been watching city council proceedings since 2017. Been to more council meetings than some of the councilors who've been elected into office. This is the first time I've seen so much public opinion all on one side of an issue. This is the first time I've seen a serious petition effort launched and carried out. I think you're doing a great disservice to the city of Parkersburg and to your employees, your city employees who have served in the sanitation department. I think, and I don't know if this is a correct procedure, I'm sure Mr. Myers can tell you. I think it would be wise to table it until you see what happens with the petition this Friday. Then proceed after you've had a chance to take into account what the citizens want. I hope this makes it on the ballot. I'm not sure what happens if you all pass this tonight and the petition succeeds. I think it'll just be a mess that you all will have to deal with. That's all I have to say. I have never seen the city come together, the citizens come together so strongly on one issue. And I would hope that you could postpone a decision until the citizens have a chance to see if they can weigh in on it on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I wasn't gonna talk, but here I am. I only have a short thing to say. I never got involved. I stayed away with this sanitation thing, but I did finally decide I'm gonna go and talk to the people since I was talking to them before when I was doing other things. And I went back to the district I represent, I was trying to talk to, and every single person, I had no one, every single person said, I'll sign it. Every single one, nobody. I mean, I didn't even have to say a word. I said sanitation, but give it to me. I mean, they don't want this change. I'm serious. I walked through the whole district, and I got no one say no. No one said no. Y'all should think about that later. No one. Go drive down the street and look at the trash cans that are sitting out for tomorrow, and think about what's gonna be left over when the waste management says, well, we're not picking up that, we're not gonna pick up that. And then it blows all over town. It's gonna be awful, terrible. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
So I just want to echo again, as I did at the beginning, I think amending Article 955, as many speakers have said, is premature. Article 955.03, subsection A, general provisions reads, solid waste collection and removal services for all residential units within the city limits shall be provided by the city and only in the manner and the extent provided in this article. Such collection, removal, and disposal of solid waste shall be performed by the Sanitation Division of the Department of Public Works. If you amend and reenact Article 955 tonight, you are replacing that language with language about a contract with Waste Management. That's what's on the table. If the petition is successful and makes it to the ballot without challenge, then, and people vote as it's pretty clear that they're going to vote, then the rescission of that ordinance, or the repeal of that ordinance to award a contract to Waste Management, makes that language essentially null. It would have to be amended again, separately, an additional ordinance, as I understand it, to include language that either, I don't know, it wouldn't be about awarding another contract. I think at this point it would default to what other municipalities in Wood County do, selecting a hauler privately for themselves and having a contract with them. But if you don't amend this language tonight, then the language I just read remains in place, and the responsibility, the onus remains with the city, which I think, until this rescission ordinance, or excuse me, this rescission initiative to get on the ballot is completed Friday at 4:30 p.m. at the latest, is premature. So I encourage you to at least table this and consider this later, as numerous speakers have said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. You know why I've been here. I think it's totally wrong that you individually charge me to recycle and let everybody else throw it all away without a care. You got a hole out on Route 50 getting dumped full of garbage. And if you recycle, it would be down to about 20% of what's going on there. The rest of it would be used, recycled, again and again and again. To charge me is wrong. Charge everybody and take care of the problem. Pick up my recycling just the way you have been. But to charge me instead of everybody is wrong. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I lived in Vienna for a couple of years, and we had waste management in Vienna, and we hated it. So anytime we try to call them, it would be like hold for 30 minutes just to get a hold of somebody that's in Georgia that doesn't really care, doesn't really want to anything to do with us. Like we would call asking about furniture items being picked up, they'd say, well, it's an extra charge. And then if you look down 7th Street or what's the really ghetto, or Lynn Street, if you look down Lynn Street, there's already trash piled up. And these people aren't gonna pay the bills, they don't pay the bills now, so it's just really, really disgusting, that's all.
Thank you. Anybody else for the public hearing?
Many other people have said tonight, not to postpone this vote seems ridiculous. Because if you accept the ordinance, the contract is signed, and then the petition is successful, and there's a public outcry against it, you'll just have to undo everything. So it seems sensible to postpone the vote. My personal feelings about this are not really even part of this. It's what's a sensible thing to do. Postpone the vote on the ordinance until after the petition. If the petition is not successful, hey, then at the next meeting, you do the ordinance.
Thank you. Anybody else for the public hearing? Hearing none, we're gonna close the public hearing. Okay, we've had a public hearing, we've had a first and a second, so I'll open it up to council for any comments, questions, or discussion.
Mr. President.
Ms. Cool.
The petition. What I've heard everyone say tonight is, come Friday, if they meet the deadline and they meet all those signatures that they need, I think it's 27,000, that it's over. It's not over with. They still have to be certified. And according to the county clerk, that could take, they only have 20 days to certify 2,720, however many there was, if the quota is met. It takes them to certify 50. It took them more than half that time just to certify 50 of them. They've only got 20 days to certify this. So it's not gonna be over with just because you turn in the petition. I mean, I applaud you guys. I really do. But to think it's gonna be over with on Friday, it's not. They have to be certified. The county clerk has to certify every signature. Every signature. Now, this doesn't require.
Chambers will be in order, chambers will be in order. Ms. Cool has the floor.
This is, what I'm telling you, came from the county clerk. Spoke with him today. They have to certify every signature. So it's not over with on Friday. If you get all the signatures, there's still a lot of time it's going to take to certify those. In the meantime, we need trash service. Whether or not we have to repeal this or not, whether or not it's going to go through or not, we have to have trash service. We do not have the guys, we do not have the manpower to do that. We have 5. 2 is retiring. We have what, 4? We have 4. I'm sorry. We have 4. 1 is retiring, 2 is already taking a job within the city, and the other one's leaving and going to work somewhere else. So we don't have the manpower to run a trash service. We have to have a trash service. Wrong or right, we have to have a trash service. That's state law. So I am for passing this tonight. If things happen that we have to repeal it, or if the signatures are certified, we'll deal with that. But we don't know how long it's going to take. He's supposed to only have 20 days. I don't know that they can do that. I don't know they can get it certified in 20 days. However, we have to have a trash service. We have no employees to run the trash service.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything, any questions or comments?
Mr. President.
Go ahead, Mr. Bradford.
I have a quick question, more to the timeline. When is Waste Management going to be ready to take over? Like, is this 20 days?
So originally, prior to the delays with regards to the public service and commission and some of those things, it was April, but once the Public Service Commission approves their contract, I don't wanna say for sure, but it'll be sometime this spring. I wanna be clear on this, the only reason the trash is getting collected currently in the manner it is, and I've said it many times, we continue to bring multiple employees over from the street cleaning and or parks departments, which has not been a huge deal until we got 8 inches of snow and ice for 7 days. Every one of you almost, maybe not every one of you, you've already started with, we're gonna get this done, you're gonna do this sidewalk this year, we're gonna do this. So this is, I think the message that I wanna be clear to the public and to you all is a couple of things. Number one, Article 955 needs amended regardless. Council approved the contract with Waste Management, I don't know, in January, a month ago, give or take. So that piece, again, referendum and everything else, I think we'll see what happens if we have to adjust, but what I'm not comfortable with at all, and I'm sure there'll be folks all over and say, oh, he's threatening. These guys have got to go back to their regular jobs at some point. I mean, I think I sent you all a note, or put it out to the public. Everett's guys patched 187 potholes in 8 days. We were behind in one particular council district with a bad hill, and come to find out, the person who normally does that salt and plow truck was picking up trash yesterday. So, at some point, to Ms. Cool's point, we have to get the trash collected. Right now, we're using sanitation funds to pay the overtime component, but this is not sustainable. So if the referendum is successful, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But at some point, this has got to move forward. And to say that we rushed through this, we've been at this for, help me with my math there, 14 months? So, this is, but the contract component of it, which is what the petition's about, that's over with. Tonight is just about setting the rates that coordinate with the now 2 approved contracts, the Rumpke contract for curbside recycling, which will be suspended for, a better question is he still here? Or did he leave? I was gonna say the better question is ask him when they're gonna start, because their contract got approved tonight as well.
Well, see, that was my point with the question of the timeline. I agree, we don't have the manpower, but we're stuck picking up that trash until the private haulers can get approved and start actually doing it. So, if we would table this, I don't see where we're really in any bad shape here. As Ms. Cool said, it will take a while to certify. If we table this until the 2nd, we're still picking up trash anyway. So I don't see why it would be a big deal to table this.
I don't see why it would be a big deal not to table it, quite frankly.
Well, I'm seeing if it does pass and we've got to just doing extra work, why wouldn't we table it? And 2 meetings from now, it's not any different than what we're doing now. We're still gonna have to pick up the trash until Waste Management's ready. So I would make,
well, I guess, let me, you make your amendment. I am categorically opposed to any more delays. This thing, like you said, we've been at it for 14 or 15 months at this point. But at some point, and this I believe is the administration's discretion, I've got to make a decision as we're not gonna continue doing it this way. And there are emergency provisions, I think this does fall under. I don't want anybody to think I'm threatening, I'm not, but if you think we're gonna have the Public Works Department, other guys out there all summer, then none of you are allowed to call or text me about a problem on a street in the districts. Because I'm not, we don't have the manpower for that as it is now. So,
Well, you said they'd be ready by spring, so.
Well, well, again, not knowing what the referendum does is what I'm saying. So I just encourage council to quit, quite frankly, succumbing to pressures.
Ma'am, chambers be in order. Mayor has the floor.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and make an amendment to table this until the second meeting in March. I don't think.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and 2 seconds. Madam Clerk, we have an amendment to table. Roll call, please.
Mr. McCready?
No.
Ms. Cool?
No.
Mr. Brown?
No.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
No.
Mr. Borkowski?
No, the amendment fails. We're back to the original motion. We have a first and a second. Any other discussion on that? I'd just like to add, I know we've heard a lot about trash piling up and all these cans and who's gonna pick up that. Any hauler, whether it be waste management or any other else, is required to pick up anything but solid waste. I proffer for anybody in this room to go to any town that allows unlimited trash. I challenge you.
I'll take that challenge.
I'm from Louisiana, and they do that. And New York does it too.
Perfect. So with that said, extra trash, whatever, the model we have and have had for the longest time is we tax everybody so some can have excess trash. What I'm saying is that we, and I believe, the most appropriate model moving forward, just because we've always done something, don't let good be the enemy of best, does that mean it's the best in the future? So the model that is here, that is wildly successful most other places, is that you pay for the service that you require. It's not that trash is going to get piled up. It's just people pay for the service that they require. And everybody talks about landfill. We got to say landfill. Well, what are we doing when we allow whatever comes in trash from outside our city to be dumped into our city because they know, hey, you just put it on Joey's curb, they'll come pick it up. So I am 100% for this. I urge passage. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
No.
Mr. Huffman?
No.
Mr. Rexroad?
No.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes. Ordinance on final reading passes. We're going to be down to item number 5 on your agenda. Madam Clerk, would you read that ordinance, please?
It is an ordinance amending Part 1, Chapter 7, Article 12 of the Codified Ordinances to address membership composition in the Parkersburg Tree Commission.
Mr. President,
Ms. Cole.
move for adoption of the ordinance.
Second. We have a first and 2 seconds. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes. Ordinance on final reading passes. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a second?
Mr. President.
We have a motion second. Ms. Cool?
I was just gonna say, URA will be starting here in about 7 minutes.
We're adjourned. URA will start in about 6 minutes.
Kevin?
I said 7.
4.